Yes, sir. We're officially back at it. Boog Nice coming at you with the Marvel Legends Stiltman Build-A-Figure Wave Hand Ninja Figure Review. Let's do it.
This ain't for no scalper. You a scalper? Then fuck out shit. This one's for them real collectors. That's army building and posing figures. Marvel Legends, imports, mini mates, I'm fucking with them. Hype beast, we know about you. Stay buying figs, don't know about you.
6 figures in a wave. You'll need all 6 figures to complete the Stiltman Build-A-Figure. And there's a quick look at the artwork on the side of the box. It is the same on the left and the right flap. Okay, this is one I have been equally anticipating and dreading. So let's bust this bad boy open and see what's what. Alright, here we go. The Hand Ninja, aka the Hand Ninja. The bio on the back of the package reads, skilled in martial arts and espionage, the ninjas of the hand are a force to be reckoned with. The Hand Ninja is packed in with both legs to complete the Stiltman Build-A-Figure, as well as a little clear stand, which is cool. The Hand are an evil, mystical band of ninjas that first appeared in Daredevil number 174 in September of 1981. Originally based out of Japan, they do, however, operate internationally. I think probably as far as the comics go, we've seen them take on a lot of the New York-based heroes, various heroes, Spider-Man, Daredevil, Wolverine. They're the perfect sort of enemy to just get vanquished easily in the books and to have one of our heroes take out multiples and many in one comic issue. Now, we've seen quite a few different iterations of the Hand Ninja in the comic books, different looks for them. We've even seen them led by different people in the books as well. Kingpin, Elektra. We've even seen Daredevil, who was originally a sworn enemy to the group, lead the group at some point during the Shadowland storyline, which was just god awful. Shadowland is awful. Now, this is actually our second, I guess you could say technically third Hand Ninja in the life of the Marvel Legends line. We had one originally in a 2-pack with the S.H.I.E.L.D. agents back in like 2011 or 2012 or something like that. And then there was like a Chase variant in white in a 2-pack that had a Dum Dum Dugan head packed in with the S.H.I.E.L.D. agent, if I'm not mistaken. We've even seen a Marvel Universe 3 3/4 inch Hand Ninja back in the day, but we have been longing for an overdue redo of the Hand Ninja so we can get our army build on in this new era of Hasbro. And I want to love this figure, but initially I kind of hated the look of this figure. However, getting him out of package and in hand right now, I must say they've done some very interesting and cool things on this figure. There are still some things that I just don't like, but overall it's actually a good army builder. All right, real quick, pros and cons about this particular version of the Hand Ninja. I don't know that I really wanted to see this look. I kind of wanted more red and not really too much black breaking up the costume. Maybe some things will be popping up on the screen here. Maybe the look of the ninjas when they were facing off against the new Avengers or against Daredevil here in this shot. Maybe even sort of old school that you see versus Wolverine here. I kind of feel like this look was sort of similar to a more recent appearance of the ninja when they were being led by Typhoid Mary, I believe, which is kind of in line and in tune with what Hasbro's been doing as far as really giving us a lot of things that are strung together as far as appearances in comic books. In the previous review, you saw me look at Frogman and look at the other characters that were in his orbit. So Hasbro has been doing things in somewhat of an order. I see their vision. But anyway, pros and cons. I do like the head sculpt here under the hood. I think it looks pretty good. I think I would have liked to see a more angry sort of look as far as the brows being down. I'm not 100% happy with the hood because I don't like that the hood doesn't actually sit on the shoulders, on the upper torso. I don't like this gappage here in the hood. I'm not a fan of that. I like the fact that the sheath here for the sword is there. I mean, we didn't have that on the previous Hand Ninja. There was nowhere to actually have them hold a sword, so that's cool. I don't like the fact that it's kind of loose. This should have been a little tighter, a little more form-fitting. I do like that you can see some ninja stars here on the band, which is cool. I think this buckle is kind of oversized. I like the texture of the belt. It looks good. I don't think this was necessary, this sort of little black band here. I don't really like this this particular portion on the costume either. I think this could have just been red. I don't know why that needed to be a different color. I do like the articulation. I'll go over that. They've done some interesting things in terms of that. I like the fact that they are interchangeable hands. We did not have that on the previous version. I like the that the feet are a good size. You know, there's no problem standing him, balancing him on one foot even, running, jumping, different things like that as far as the articulation in the foot. But I don't like the design of this. I think the foot should have been smaller if they wanted to do this sort of like toe design here. You can't have that on like what looks like a boot, in my opinion. I don't like that. Either they should have just given him a full boot, or it should have looked more like traditional Chinese slippers or something like that if they wanted to do this toe thing. I'm not really a fan of that. The color of the costume overall, I do like. It's good. The folds and whatnot in the costume look pretty good. I like that. I think in the proper lighting and when you get quite a few of these guys set up against some of your heroes, it'll look money. Out of the package, he comes with 2 open cupped hands. These are going to be perfect for holding his weapons, so let's go over those real quick. So obviously he is packed in with the sword, a little warped out of the package, but I can fix that. I am delighted to see that it is not the same design that they've been using since the first Hand Ninja, and they actually gave us a thicker sword here that looks a lot better than the thinner one we were receiving for the past almost 10 years. But yeah, the sword is cool. Obviously it can be sheathed, more playability and posability there. He does have an additional set of open hands with the finger slightly spread. You can see that additional hand there on the left arm. There he is with both open hands. So obviously more playability, more posability there. Like I always say, heads and hands make the figure. So it would have been nice for one more set of hands, maybe just fist or hands that were open with the fingers spread a bit more. But we do have quite a few different figures that have come with full sets of hands. The old Iron Fist, Shang-Chi more recently. I would assume that you can utilize those hands and really give him a bunch of different hand sculpts and gestures for all of your karate, martial arts, epic fight scenes, looks that you want to do. He's also packed in with 2 of these weapons. Let me know in the comments below what the traditional name is for these sort of like sickle pick things. But these can be fitted into his hands with no issue. They look pretty good, and it's something that we never received before, so I'm down with that. So look, I'm on the hook for about 6 or 7 of these so far. This was the first one I got because I got this full wave kind of early, even though I'm late reviewing this figure. But I do have 5 or 6 more on the way, and I know they're gonna look great in shots where there are multiples of these going up against some of your heroes. We've already started to see those type of shots trickle out, but again, I'm just not a huge fan overall of the look of this figure. However, I will say that the articulation scheme does make up for some of my disappointment with the look of this guy. Yes, you can remove the sheath. If you want to take that off, that's fine. The head is removable as well, so if you want to customize something or change this up in some type of way, then you have that option. Looks like a pretty standard typical ball peg here for the head and neck. I'm wondering if I can pop on the old Hand Ninja head. I'll have to break him out obviously for some comparisons. Obviously we're going to have to compare this guy to the original Hand Ninja as well as the articulated Icons Ninja, so I'll get that going. But let's go over the articulation. You can get the head up pretty far, just got to kind of shift it on that peg. You can get them down pretty far as well, so that's cool. Again, I'm just not a fan of the gappage there, but left to right, pivot, you get a decent range of motion on the head. Shoulders are on a ball joint. They're going to come up just about that far. You can do a full 360. There is a butterfly joint in there, which is to my delight, to my surprise. That's really cool. Upper bicep swivel, double jointed elbow, swivel and a hinge on the wrist. The wrist will hinge in a traditional fashion here on the left hand, and then up and down on the right. Would have been nice for more articulation here above the wrist, but something really cool and unique here in the upper torso. You get upper torso articulation. You can rotate them, move them back and forward, left to right. And then there's also an ab crunch down here, kind of hidden beneath the belt. So you can get them to crunch down pretty low in the abdomen. And that was one of the major issues with the original Hand Ninja, was that they didn't really have any torso articulation. You had a hard time kind of bending them up. And let me not say that. It's not that they didn't have torso articulation. It was just hindered quite a bit by the overlay of the jacket. The way they did this here and broke it up and still made it look like one piece was pretty clever. You do do get a slit on either side here, so you can get the legs out far. You can get them up pretty far. There is a T-joint here at the pelvis. There is an upper thigh swivel, kind of tight, but it's there. You do get a double jointed knee. I don't like that there is a L and a R here. You got to really be looking close to see it, but it is there. Kind of an eyesore still. And you do get rotation here at the upper boot. You get a hinge and a nice deep ankle pivot. So very good articulation here. You know, what he lacks in the looks, he does have in the articulation department. That sounds naughty. All right, here we go. Comparison time. So on the left is the articulated Icons Ninja in his base form, and you can see how small he looks. And then on the right is the original Marvel Legends 2-pack hand ninja. And I didn't realize how much I don't really like the design of this. I mean, back in the days, these were everything. And I had maybe 20 of these, 25 of them. A couple years back, I sold my entire lot together, and I held on to two. I held on to this red one, and I held on to one of the Chase Ninjas, the white one, just anticipating Hasbro giving us a new hand ninja and being able to do this comparison. So I had some foresight there. Is that what it is? Foresight? Yeah. So yeah, the new Marvel Legends hand ninja is much taller than these other two. Definitely fits in better with what Hasbro has been doing over the past 5 or 6 years. I'm happy with the size and the build, the stature of this new one. Again, just not a huge fan of the design, but he is kind of shitting on these other two ninjas for sure. Let me show you something though. So I did explain how I'm not really a fan of the hood and how the hood doesn't actually sit flush with his upper torso. This is the hood for the articulated Icons Ninja that you can swap in and out, and you know, you can have some of your ninjas with the hood and some without, and you can see how that looks. So if it was possible to get the articulated Icons head onto this body, it would probably look too small. Definitely not going to fit on that peg, but you can see how this hood actually works a little better. So if we're able to maybe peel off the just the head from the hood of the newer version and use this hood, that may work. I'm not going to do it with this one that I have here. I'll wait till I get a few more, but I do like the look of this, and you can kind of finesse this with just a side profile without a head in there. So I do have quite a few of the articulated Icons Ninjas. This I like. Even if you were just playing with some shadows, you know, wanted to have them kind of faceless. Again, they are kind of mystical creatures of the night, so this could work. Just testing out some things with some items that I have close by. So this is actually the Cobra Trooper head stuffed into that hood, and that works. That looks okay. Obviously it's not the right color scheme, but as far as the size of the head and the look of the eyes and the eyebrows, I like that. So I don't know that anyone would want to paint over their Cobra Trooper head, considering how hard it is to get one of these figures, but again, there is an option. And there's a look at the old hand ninja head on the newer body. That doesn't quite work. If the head actually sat a little bit lower on the neck, that may work if you wanted to kind of Dremel this out, but I don't know that it's really worth it. And for the record, this works too. These are the Iron Fist hands. I believe it was from the King Thor Build-A-Figure Wave Iron Fist. Was it King Thor? It was that version of Thor where you could make Odin or Thor, the white Iron Fist, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, if you have that figure, then you definitely have some different options for hands. They fit perfectly. It looks properly scaled. It looks good. And there's a look at the white ninja, and just a look at this articulation. Like I said, there was torso articulation, just hindered a little bit by his gi being closed here. I did see some people back in the day snip this and open it up to give more articulation, but it just didn't look good. This right here is so old school and trash. It's just being connected like that. That looks so bad, and you couldn't really swap these hands out back in the day either. So again, for the time, it was everything, but we have certainly surpassed this, and we are on to the next. All right, there's all the ninjas together with Spider-Man added in there. You can see how all those stack up. Hand ninja looks like he's even taller than Spider-Man. And then here we have the Defenders box set Daredevil, which I think is a little small. I have been kind of campaigning to see who else they may do on the retro Spider-Man buck. I think Daredevil would be perfect for that particular mold, so a brand new updated super articulated Daredevil on that buck would be cool. And then we have Iron Fist. This is the one that came with the glowing hands, if I'm not mistaken. Probably one of the best Iron Fist figures that we have. And then the Hand Ninjas Wave Mate here, Frogman. And again, Hand Ninja's pretty tall. I'm 1000% sure that we will see a variant of the red hand ninja on this same buck. They'll do black or white or both. No question we're going to see quite a bit of usage of this particular buck from Hasbro. Alright, I'm getting up out of here. Solid offering here to round out the wave, the last figure in the wave. A lot of incentive to pick up multiples of this figure. They did something pretty unique that I told them to do like 10 years ago. But they made it where the more hand ninjas you buy, the larger you can build your Stiltman. So because the two legs that are needed to complete Stiltman comes with the hand ninja, every time you buy a hand ninja, your Stiltman can stand taller. This is one I would recommend. You'll need it to complete the Stiltman Build-A-Figure, and I am looking forward to getting at least 10, maybe 15 of these. We'll see what happens if they change the design any, but it seems like for the foreseeable future, this is going to be the design that we'll be displaying with. So thanks for hanging out. As always, rate, comment, and subscribe. Hit the bell down there, and until next time, peace.
Man, who need you? You don't need me, I don't need you neither. That's why my next leg's gonna be a two-seater. And the things I do to you won't leave you beautiful. And though you feeling F me, I'm feeling mutual.